Hi, I'm Janine the Alchemist and welcome back to my channel. So we celebrate our holidays a little bit differently now. About 3 years ago, I shared with the internet about my deconstructing from my childhood faith. And I think that sometimes people have a misconception about what that means as far as spirituality, or what that means as far as the sacred things that we all do seasonally. So I just thought I would let you in on the process, because honestly, what my family and I do now is a process that took many years, and it's creating a culture in your home, and it's something that's very personal to each of us. We are coming up on the spring equinox. Today we just set our clocks towards spring, so I thought it was the perfect time to share with you all what I do, because it's through these intentional practices that I have improved my life greatly. Just because I deconstructed doesn't mean I don't have personal beliefs. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate with gratitude the world around me. Something that my husband and I do, and things that I've done with my kids as they've grown up, is being intentional about the seasonal changes. The kids in the fall and the winter and spring will collect different seeds and nuts, elements, the things that fall on the ground, and we put it together in a mandala or in a bowl or put it around the house. And it's something that we do together to signal that the seasons are changing. This past winter solstice, we did crafts together. One thing that I made a point to do was make some new ornaments. I actually embossed some ornaments with metal sheets that you can find on Amazon. There's different textures. I would get a little bit thicker. You can also do this craft with foil, and I just hot glued it. You don't need to have any fancy tools. I found that I liked using this nail art tool, but you could also use something like the back of this paintbrush, anything that's a little bit round. I wouldn't use something sharp. And this is a way that, since Christmas trees aren't really from Christmas, it's an older practice from many different pagan rituals. People used to put herbs and spices in the tree that prevented bugs and illness from coming into their houses. Some people put dried oranges in their trees. I made some stars because it signals that bright star which we navigate in the dark, dark night of winter. We collect pine cones and things, and we put it in the tree. We just make sure to appreciate the things that we did harvest, and if it is a harder year, we just look forward to the spring, which is that time of year right now. It's still a beacon of hope, if anything, that hardships are seasonal and the sun will come out again and the flowers will bloom again. And so that's kind of what I've got here, and some greenery from the bloom. I made sure to take the time to appreciate all of the flowers in the environment around our home. And I kind of made a little mandala with some seeds. I have some things here from last spring. Sometimes seed pods, though, where you live might explode. Be careful about that. I found out that about pine cones, that all the seeds kind of explode out of them. So be careful when you are collecting. But doing things like this helps you appreciate nature. It helps you see the beauty of the things around you and get you out of your head and get you kind of out of a lack mindset and realize the abundance that's all around you and the potential. Just like seeds, that there's so much potential that lies dormant within you. It just needs a little bit of water, a little bit of attention. And then sometimes, I'm not going to light it right now. Well, maybe I will. My husband collected these lavender leaves for me and dried them in this jar. So maybe what I'll do is I'll burn it, and I'll put it in my little shell here so we don't burn the set down. And the smells here, I've collected and dried some eucalyptus leaves, so I'm going to do that too, because I'm finding myself at a loss for words right now. Yeah, look at that. My husband made this sage bundle. It's another way to ground myself. So you don't have to use smoke. You might want to use things like essential oils or candles or sound if you don't want to smell anything. But I use these little tricks to get myself kind of to wake myself up in all my senses. So I'm feeling things, I'm sitting down with myself, and I just try to take at least one moment, one sit down per season to ground myself in and check in with myself. So I might journal, I might do a brain dump. That's when you write just anything that comes to mind on paper. Maybe I'll do a vision board, but I sort of wait for summer for vision boarding. And sometimes we collect feathers that fall down from the birds above, especially a beautiful one like this. My father actually found this one a couple years ago. I make a north, south, east, and west to symbolize just the direction that we're going and moving with purpose. So these things are very personal to each of us. I don't see myself as a witch. I just see myself as someone who appreciates the earth. I'm kind of a naturalist. I'm a little bit of an animist. I love universal symbolism, as you guys know, and I try to appreciate traditions that are kind of a science that have been passed down and helped people. When I do sit down and think of spring, I think of planning. I actually do, this is my little planner book, I actually do a lot of planning in the winter. I designate the winter for allowing myself to rest, but when the spring comes, I'm really trying to activate those plans and begin moving as my body is warming up and the seasonal depression is leaving. I try to be gentle with myself if I'm not very productive, but spring is when I really try to kick things into gear, hence making this video now. Maybe I'll sit down with a tea, this is coffee though, and I'll really get serious and I'll really think about what am I gonna do. And as the sun is waking up, so am I. So I've been really liking peppermint tea lately, but yeah, this is coffee. Maybe I meditate. Just love is my goal right now, and to be comfortable sharing something so personal to me with you without feeling embarrassed or ashamed. A craft the kids and I that we do every year for spring and summer. We'll obviously change the decorations and we'll change the colors, but we have a wishing tree outside. I'll change the strings on the wishing tree and we'll make wishes on there. I also love to send snail mail to loved ones. I find that you don't really have to get rid of everything. With this, we could do, I just grabbed this because I'm going to do something with the kids at some point, but for spring equinox, I'm still gonna do egg crafts with the kids because eggs are a part of spring. Bunny rabbits are a part of spring. It's all about fertility and the animals coming out of hibernation and they're waking up. You don't have to practice a religion to partake in that because what does that even have to do with Jesus anyway? This is a flower press book. Semi-plume, I'm not sure if I'm doing that right, but there's a pretty purple flower in there. I don't want it to fall out. And then after they're done being pressed, I just haven't had the heart to take them out, but after they're done being pressed, then maybe I'll put them in like a glass case and put them around the house. This is a seed bank. Oh my gosh, we got so many seeds in here for actually growing in our greenhouse. I'm trying to plant pollinator flowers. My husband's got his own things he's planting. There's also this very similar process during the autumn equinox where I collect lots of jars and things, and I'm going to put some flowers in it when we next get flowers from the farmer's market. If I look back just 5 years, I can see how there have been a lot of things in my life that have changed as I've gotten to know myself and as I've allowed myself to shift in my faith and ask questions, be curious, and figure out what it is that I think and what it is that we think is right for our family, and allowing that curiosity. It's because of that I am in such a beautiful place now. There were people in my life be very dismissive of my thoughts and my feelings. And I realized that I, in many ways, was abandoning myself. So not everyone, So maybe not everyone will understand. It's not something that you have to share with other people. What your personal practices are, maybe not everyone will understand the things that are meaningful to you. But I believe it's each of our own responsibility to build your own culture in your home, for you or for your family, your own rituals. And you don't let anyone take that from you. Because there are people who try to make you believe that if, for example with me, undermining my deep thoughts and what's meaningful to me, and undermining the way that I see the world. But the truth is, nobody is going to see the world the way that I do or the way that you do, and what your destiny is. All of the false things kind of fall away, the false people, or maybe the false ideas and identity that I had. And this is a way for me to touch down no matter where I am and be okay with changes, because as you know, seasons change and we change. Rest assured, the sun will come up tomorrow, and these things help me to remember that and to appreciate every season for what it is, symbolically and literally. We're ever changing, ever growing, and that's what alchemy is. It helps you to become more resourceful and appreciate the seasons of life. Some seasons are for hibernation and rest, some seasons are for harvesting, some seasons are for getting out there and letting yourself bloom. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me here today and allowing me to just talk about just how things have been lately and what we've been up to. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video.